Right, welcome ladies and gents. You guys remember She-Hulk? Yes, that awful show that sort of captivated everyone, quite frankly. I mean, everyone was watching it, to hate watch it, to randomly there were some people that wanted to enjoy it, of course. And a lot of people, very disappointed, obviously. The hate watchers probably enjoyed watching it because it was funny to watch as a spectacle. And I guess it was truly highlighted just how bad the Marvel Cinematic Universe had become. But anyway, one thing which was very, very clear was it looked like trash. And it couldn't possibly have a high budget. And yet it did. And yet it did. $225 million, reportedly, that budget had. 200... I'm not misspeaking. $225 million. Goodness me. Awful stuff. Absolutely awful stuff. Insane that it looked quite as bad as it did, and yet had such a high budget. Bizarre. I mean, if I was Bob Iger, I would be scratching my head going, what on earth are you doing? I mean, obviously, if I was Bob Iger, I wouldn't be Bob Iger, because Bob Iger's a loser and a moron, and someone with insane budgets that are just spiraling out of control, and will probably be skewered at the next shareholder meeting. I'm very much certain of that. If they manage to if any shareholders manage to creep through anyway. But I digress. It doesn't look like we're getting a season 2 because the Star has come out and thrown some water on that fire, which, you know what, I'm actually really, really disappointed. Do you know why? Because I thoroughly enjoyed making videos on that, and you know what it could have done? A whole new season of She-Hulk. All the news on the lead up to it. It could have paid for a brand new retro car, which I very clearly like. So I'm very disappointed that we're not getting another season of She-Hulk, or at the very least, it's looking like we're not getting another season of She-Hulk, because that would have been fantastic. Alternatively, it could have paid off some of my mortgage, which is extortionate. But anyway, let's dive into this today. Hit subscribe if you're new here and you enjoy videos like this, movie reviews, movie news, some commentary pieces. We'll get to all of that here on this channel, so hit subscribe. Also, check out the link in the description box to the second channel where my podcast is, the Hcast. Anyway, let's take a look, shall we? So this popped up over on the Twitter twatter. And I'm always curious when these people sort of share these things to see the response, right? I've got another article to take a look at as well, but it says here, look, Tatiana Maslany says She-Hulk season 2 is unlikely. I think we blew our budget. And Disney was like, no thanks. You know who else was like, no thanks? Everyone else that watched it. They were like, no thanks when it was announced. Actually, in fairness, they weren't no thanks when it was announced. They were like, no thanks when we first started to see things coming out about it. When it was announced, there was some potential that it could have been okay. Like, Tatiana Maslany is a good actress. She's good, right? She was in Orphan Black. She was very good in that. She played multiple roles, all different sort of facets, different personalities, different performances for individual characters, but the same look, because they were clones. Spoiler alert. So there was some hope that this could have actually been pretty decent, but you just had utter morons in charge of it. So, yeah, the budget was $225 million. Obscene. But here we have it, right? So here's the article anyway that takes a look at it. So, She-Hulk Eternity Law star Tatiana Maslany does not recommend fans hold out for a season 2 of the Disney Plus series. Oh, I wonder why. So far, the only live-action MCU Disney Plus series to be renewed for a season 2 has actually been Loki, which is fascinating to think of, actually. When you look at it like that, I didn't realise that was the case. Like, I don't stay massively up to date on the MCU Disney Plus shows, but that's actually really, that's stark when you think about it. The only show out of the entirety, the plethora of titles that they chose to adapt, it's only been Loki that has had a second season, and now that's done as well. Apparently there's no season 3. When you think of it like that, that's quite insane. That goes to show how monumental those were in terms of failures. Huge. Absolutely huge. So however, many of these shows, The Falcon and Winter Soldier, Moon Knight, Ms. Marvel, ended with just enough loose ends to pick up from if a second season were to happen. Yeah, I mean, Moon Knight especially, literally set up a season 2. Ms. Marvel, yeah. Although I guess the second one of that was in movie form. I'm guessing that's kind of what they're saying. And then we've got, She-Hulk, obviously. There was a reference for season 2 in that as well, because we had... Well, I mean, there was MCU writers' room in the show's finale. There was some nonsense to do with Hulk's son appearing, looking like some bizarre emo reprobate. Super weird. But anyway, here we have this. Is it getting a second season? So according to Tatiana Maslany during a recent Twitch stream, a season 2 of She-Hulk Attorney at Law seems highly unlikely. So speaking during a codenamed live, the New Class stream, what on earth is that and why on earth was she on it? Maslany said she does not think fans should expect a season 2, remarking, with a dash of humour, the show blew its budget with season 1. Given this, she said that Disney was like, no thanks. Real quotes, should we hope for a season 2? I don't think so. Pfft. Damn it. I wanted a very rare Toyota Celica. Alright? God damn it. Why? I wanted a season 2. I wanted to be able to afford a Japanese Mustang. If you don't know what I'm referencing, Google it. It is a beautiful car. Beautiful. So that's a shame. Anyway, I think we blew our budget, and Disney was like, no thanks. It's worth noting that Maslany, while relatively confident in her answer, was not giving any sort of official announcement on the stream, as evidenced by her multiple uses of think. True, but also not true. Because if you're going to sit there and profess that it's essentially done, you're going to have to be pretty certain that it's done. Right? And also as well, bearing in mind like the absolute nonsense drivel that came out of that show, if they were really interested in making another one, they probably would have announced it by now. Yeah, I think so anyway. Wouldn't you? Yeah. If they were really proud of it and they were like, yeah, we'll make another one, they would have announced it. They would have done it. Just like they did with Loki. They're like, yeah, we're making a season 2. No worries. Because that one was actually pretty well received. Now, again, I know not everyone liked it. I get that. But out of all of the MCU Disney Plus shows, that was well received by comparison. They were happy to make a season 2. This, not so much. 225 million for that wank. How? What are you doing? Is it like a million a day on catering as well? Like what is it that you're actually doing when it comes to that? That's nonsense. Utterly insane. Utterly insane. So anyway, there you go. Quite comical, quite funny. A shame. A shame. I would have enjoyed that. I would have liked to have purchased that retro car, but alas. Alas. Well, I just have to wait for, I don't know. What was it? Avengers Secret War? Maybe? Daredevil Born Again, perhaps? Maybe Blade? Maybe another disaster waiting to happen? Anyway. There you go. A side note, because people who use... This was a joke about buying a car. I mean, the money obviously does go towards things, but, could I have afforded a car off that? Probably not. And I much prefer to review things that are good, actually. I've had so much fun reviewing some good stuff here on the channel. Like weekly, we're doing House of the Dragon. Really enjoyed that. I want to review good things. This isn't me saying I want to review bad things. I sincerely don't. I'd like there to be so much better uses for my time when I'm doing this reviewing gig. So, this isn't necessarily bad. Hopefully it makes way for good things is what I'm trying to say. I do want Daredevil to be good. I do want the Marvel Cinematic Universe to be good. I just don't think it's going to. Because I think that they're too infected with ideological influence from writers and executives. And I think that is going to hinder them massively in trying to course correct. So anyway, I'd love to hear your thoughts, so drop them down below. Give the video a like and a share. But thank you so much for watching. Cheers, guys. Take care. Bye-bye now.